honest, and upfront. No hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Let's be honest, wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
The voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, North Texas. You hear okay?
Hey, top of the morning to you. Lisa used to eat me ice cold pizza, cafe, latte.
Turn myself down too low. All right, good morning, North Texas, and welcome to another edition of NTX AM Vibes, formerly JoCo Vibes, when we were just kind of still focusing on just Johnson County. I'm Tiffany Carlen, and we are in our Fort Worth studio this morning because I have an amazing guest joining us this morning. She is the Fort Worth foodie, Connie Bally. And of course, from Burleson, we have Sarah Reeves, a.k.a. Red. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Sarah.
Morning. Good morning. So glad to be here.
Yeah, me too.
This is
and
neat.
I'm glad that we're coming from here.
Studios.
I know, right? I mean, we're there. I still have to do something with this wall behind us because it's so white in here. But we'll get there. We'll get there, right? right? At least we're here. I had Connie on last Tuesday, I believe it was last Tuesday, and she was gearing up for something really cool, and we're going to follow up on that. But we're also going to kind of recap what we did last Tuesday because we got in here and things weren't working properly, and I went into a near panic mode, but we did it, and I just want to be able to completely focus on everything that you do. But for those that are joining us for the first time or repeat, it's Thankful Thursday.
Thankful Thursday.
I'm going to start with our guest, Connie. I have a feeling I know what you're really thankful for, but what are you thankful for?
Oh, I've got so many things. It's August 1st, and I walk my dogs every morning. I've got a husky and a Shih Tzu. I've got like this minivan and a tennis shoe walking together, basically. And I just found myself having like a walking meditation as the cool air was hitting, and the dogs are getting along so well, and my life is in order, and I've got Fort Worth Foodies is growing beyond my wildest expectations and wonderful, talented friends. I mean, it's like I don't know where to start. I'm grateful in many, many ways.
Love it. Sarah.
I am thankful for great friends that, I'm thankful for James McKinney this morning because he made sure I got home safe last night, and I had to go hunting for my car this morning. And that's a wonderful feeling to know that I was taken care of.
Oh, nice.
Good.
Because
you found your car,
and I got there quick. And anyway, de-stressing, I guess. I was decompressing last night, and I did. And my friends took care of me, especially James McKinney. So he gets a shout out this morning.
All right. Thanks, James. We appreciate you very much.
Found my car. I didn't move it at all.
Okay, good. All right, awesome.
Any more about you?
Oh, I am thankful for a multitude of things. I'm thankful that one, that you said yes again to join me at the table. I'm thankful for how do I put this? I'm thankful for good family health, right? And the right people being placed into family members' lives to help them heal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I know I sound like I'm being facetious, and I kind of am. I'm just kind of, elaborate it down the road, right?
Yeah.
And I am thankful for it. It's a beautiful day this morning. It's going to be really hot later. I mean, it is, but
It's
it was
Texas and it's August. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. And that's okay. I mean, but it's beautiful. It's pretty today.
It was beautiful.
It is lovely.
I opened the Jeep top up, open halfway when I was able to slow down enough to open it. And I was like, oh, this actually doesn't feel too bad right now. Yeah.
I just walk in the neighborhood. I live in a 70-year-old neighborhood, huge trees. I get to watch the seasonal. I've walked it for 15 years, almost every morning. Walk my dogs every morning.
I love it.
Yeah, it was really great. But I mean, there was cool breezes. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful time of the day, just as the sun is coming up and the birds are starting to wake up too. It's a really pretty part of the day.
Lots of trees in your neighborhood?
Lots of trees in my neighborhood.
Okay. Sarah said your mic's too. Can you scoot in a little bit for me? We're still working on the logistics of how things are gonna work here with our
rearranging
microphones and shifting around and
bobs around the equipment.
Exactly. And we're a little echoey still yet because some of our sound foam that was up on the walls, I think it got too hot in here one day and it fell off. So when I came in last Tuesday, they were off and I just haven't had a chance to get them back up. So, but hey, that's what happens. All right. Sarah, have you dove in at all to the Fort Worth Foodie group on Facebook?
I know I've been a member for a little while now. And so I know that I have been on there several times since I've been a member. I don't know what's happening right now, what's new. So that'll be good to hear what's new, what's happening now.
I'm going to have Connie tell everybody, first of all, how this group got started. And because, you've been in Texas, how many years now?
Since 62.
And you came out of the finance world.
I did.
That was your 9 to 5, really, it's never 9 to 5.
8 to 4. It was in my sector because we only did it's called fixed income. People say stocks and bonds in the same breath like it's the same thing. There's different niches, and I just did, it's called fixed income.
Okay.
Because bonds have a set coupon, and that's what I did. I did institutional, which means I handled banks and savings and loans and insurance companies and things like that. I was not a retail broker. And I
Okay.
did that for like 32 years, which was a lot. It was pretty cool.
Okay, cool. All right. And came out of that and dove into food. Talk about that.
Well, I decided to retire in 2017 after an illustrious 32-year career in finance. And the regulatory environment was really got really bad. And after '08, it's like the pendulum swung the other direction. And it was just too much. And I decided to go ahead and retire. But I still wanted to work. And I decided that what I wanted to do was to stay in B2B sales, business to business sales. I wanted to stay in sales. I wanted to be able to office from home. I wanted to be able to do something that was really internet connected. I don't want to code. I just love using it. I like knowing more about it. Let's see, what were some of the other boxes? Oh, I wanted to get into the foodie universe. I wanted to be able to keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on with restaurants, like maybe go to work for Cisco or Benny Keith or one of the wholesalers. That was a huge thing on the checklist. And I was found out soon enough that this is pre-COVID, that being a woman at the time I was in my 50s and at the time I was 60 pounds heavier than I am now, that regardless of what my resume looked like or how well I interviewed, I was not hireable. People were not willing to hire me. And it was tough. And so I was kind of sad or thinking, and I was sitting at a red light at a Whataburger by my house. And I thought, well, this is 2017. I thought, well, I'm going to go home and I'm going to start this group called Fort Worth Foodie, and I could meet people and we could go have dinner every once in a while. So Fort Worth Foodie singular was already taken, so I just slapped an S on the end. I thought nobody will know anyhow. So ended up with this little group called Fort Worth Foodies, and a couple of weeks later I looked down. I didn't pay attention to it really, and there were like 500 people in it. I thought, well,
Wow.
I think I've got something here.
And you're now
I'm coming up on 200,000.
That's amazing.
With
Wow.
3.8 million visitors, so we're over the 4 million mark every 60 days.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gotten big, and thank God, I've got a real good business head on my shoulders. I know how to connect the dots. Those are the things I know how to do well. I don't do everything well, but I do some things really well, and I know what I do. I know what I do well. And one of the things, I've got a really good business head on my shoulders, and I know how to connect the dots, and I'm extremely intuitive. I've got very good internal guidance, and I smelled something. I knew I had it, but at the time, Facebook had just bought Instagram. They were still a photo sharing platform.
Right.
So we all just kind of, I knew I had something, but we were not where we are now with any of it. It was just in its infancy. So we all basically grew up together, and it's been an amazing ride.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the things, like when you look at the restaurant industry, if you've never worked in it, and if you've never worked in management, or you've never owned something in the restaurant or food industry, it's challenging if you have not truly planned out, okay, what is it going to cost me to market this business? And so you have a great background that comes from finance, and then also the marketing, and then having that full view from sitting on the other side of the table to go, this restaurant's not working right. Something's wrong.
You smell it right inside the door.
Yep.
Exactly.
When I was in hospitality management classes many years ago, the statistics were in Dallas that 50% of restaurants didn't make it in Dallas. And I mean, that's a massive amount of restaurants. Yeah, I mean, it could be definitely higher. I mean, COVID kind of changed a lot of that for sure. But that it's a 50-50 shot, and that's a bunch of money if you're not going to make it. And so they need all the help they can get.
It's a big investment.
It's a huge investment. What I'm surprised are the restaurant owners and the chefs that think they need to save up for marketing. To me, that's a death spiral. That's just kind of like, go get the boxes and start packing them out. Because if you don't have a keen marketing program, digital marketing these days, you're invisible. My analogy is always like, and I see all the time on the group when businesses go under, it's kind of like, oh, that place is jinxed. The parking is horrible. People have a tendency to give all these really random excuses about what they see. And I'm sitting there going, no, they had zero marketing plan. You can have good food and bad marketing plan or no marketing plan. Guess which one is going to win out?
I've heard. Okay, so there's a couple places in Burleson that seem to have that kind of curse. Like it's not going to last there. But ultimately the reason is one of them is now, I think they've been there 5 or 6 years. Dos Jaliscos. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's right next to
On
the
Newton.
COC.
On Newton. It's been a burger
It was
drive-through type of
Beefers
place.
originally. It was built as Beefers.
Beefers, that's it. Yep. And then when Beefers closed and somebody else took it on, they didn't last very long either. And so my husband's law office was across from it for a while, and we're like, okay, how long is it's like taking a bet? How long is this place going to last in that location now, right? But Dos Jaliscos has lasted now. I think it's been 6 or 7 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even longer actually,
Maybe
because
even longer.
we've been out of that spot for 7 years. So so we're really happy to see that something lasted. And the other place is that Mexican place down 174 on the outskirts of
it
where
just
H&B
changed
is and all of that.
Yeah, it just changed from Rio Bravo to something else, and it's been
it changed again.
Yeah, it's not Rio Bravo anymore. I saw this last week it had a new name, and somebody asked about it on a Burleson group. What's the name of the new Mexican food place down there? And I don't know what it is, but yeah, it was like a steakhouse once, and you know
that didn't last long at all. But here's the thing: they didn't engage with the community.
Horrible.
They did not engage with the community. They didn't put any marketing into it. They didn't spend any time on social media. They didn't get out to engage with the community at local events. They didn't do any of that. And so you can't expect to have loyalty from a community if you're not engaging with the community.
100%.
Particularly in a hard to get to location. So
especially in a
you have
community
to go there on purpose.
that is so tight knit.
Yep.
Is that community. It's like reaching out seems like it would almost be magnified versus Fort Worth is a great community too, but it's much larger. It's a little bit more diluted when you make those efforts, although you still have to make those efforts. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying in these smaller communities, you've got the additional benefit of a little bit goes a very long way.
Well, there's 1 million people in Fort Worth now.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, when you're looking at a place like Burleson, we have roughly 57,000 people,
so, yeah.
which is not a small amount. You have on 174, I call it the Johnson County corridor because it comes off of 35 and comes through Burleson, Joshua, Alvarado, into Cleburne, and then beyond if you keep on going, right? So there's roughly 55,000 cars per day travel 174. That's a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
And to not
make the effort
to reach those people, or if you're a restaurant on that corridor and you're not surviving, you have to be asking yourself, what are we doing wrong?
Well, that's why my podcast, we're getting ready to fire up a podcast in a week or two where we're just going to talk about marketing. I'm not talking about the future of food. I'm not going to interview the chefs around town. We'll either take calls or probably answer email questions just to be able to filter stuff out. And it's called Ask a Better Question. And
Love it.
I know, because so many people, they just jump to these conclusions, and I'm not going to market because I need to save up for marketing. And everything is so, they're making all these assumptions that leave them out in left field. They're making all these assumptions where I always say, you're slamming the door in your own face. You know, if you don't like what Fort Worth Foodies does, because we're not a review site. We just are a restaurant recommendation. I'm not going to have anybody tear another restaurant down. We're not there to do that. And a lot of people take issue with that. And I hear all these presumptions about what's going on and they're almost embarrassingly stupid. You know, embarrassingly, you know, just like, how dumb are you a satire of your own self? I mean, you're trying to sound like an idiot because you do. So more and more glaring, it's kind of like, ask a better question. Why don't you back up and say, I don't quite understand this, or do I need to that, or where are my sources for this, instead of coming up with these lame excuses that do nothing more than just slam the door in your own face.
Right.
And I say that with love to some people, not all, but I say it. A lot of these restaurants just don't know any better. and they're kind-hearted and they want to do better. They just need somebody to kind of give them information.
I think they get excited. I mean, it's like any other small business owner that gets excited about what they're passionate about, and they're going to start this business, and nobody gave them any guidance towards how to do a business plan.
Right.
What's in the business plan?
100%.
Budgeting for marketing is usually the last thing that any business owner puts into their business plan, if they even put it into a business plan.
100%.
Because they typically go,
if you build it, they will come. And
yes,
so I think that
and we have social media today. It'll just kind of build itself.
I've had chefs tell me, well, my business owners tell me, my chef, they think that this being in the pocket of their chef is their marketing plan.
Right.
Yes.
And so they're paying the chef to manage the kitchen and everything that it calls for, and get that food on that table. Not stop and take pretty pictures, because the chef's head, if they're doing their job right, it's in that kitchen.
Right.
And about 100% of the time, the chef does not stop to think about getting a picture of something that's going out that looks great. Their head is, they're doing the job that they were hired for.
Right.
And I just have gotten to the point where some people, I can't get that light to come on. And I'm thinking that the newsletter that we launched last week will help, and the podcast will help.
So I put a link in our comments. It's facebook.com/groups/Fort Worth Foodies is how you get to the group. Join it. How do you subscribe for the newsletter?
The website is www.fortworthfoodiestx.com.
Okay.
And that's the website. It's being worked on now. We're doing some updated. That's our directory, and we're forever working on this directory thing. But
yeah, so the directory thing's a new thing too, because it's not just about restaurants; it's about businesses in Fort Worth, right?
There's two. One directory is just about the restaurants. We're focusing just on the restaurants and caterers and food trucks, and the other one is for lifestyles. And that is going to be dealing. It's kind of like the old Angie's List, where if you're vetted, if you've got good Google reviews, if you have good peer reviews, we welcome you aboard. Once you do something, it's not like just one complaint, because everybody has a bad day. But if you don't measure up, then we will remove you from that directory. Likely remove people from the group that don't stay in their lane. Right. So it's going to just really be a wonderful resource for new people that are coming to the community. Where is the attorney I need for my will? Where is a well-reviewed plumber? For people that live here and for people that are moving here, it's going to be lifestyle. Where is going to be my new favorite boutique to visit? Where's a stylist? Where do I get my lashes done? 1,000,001 services, the day spas that we rely on, pet sitters that we rely on to make our lives better, that can take us 2 or 3 years to find them. So we're going to be doing two. The first is going to be the directory for the restaurants, the food trucks, the caterers, the Foodie universe, and the other one is lifestyles.
All right, be prepared when you do go to the group. You're going to get hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet. Sorry, Adam Smith.
Gosh.
And so I'm looking at this and I'm going, oh my gosh, that's shrimp and grits. It looks like from Tom's Burgers and Grill. I don't think, yes, it is. It's shrimp and grits. Okay. And I don't think that you would think Tom's Burgers and Grill has shrimp and grits. That looks
wonderful.
It looks really good.
They do so much, so well. And they would really appreciate your business now.
So you have this group. It's been around for 7 years. And everything's been online.
On Facebook.
And so
and Instagram.
And we've got 6 minutes before we go to break. So I don't want to dive completely into the event stuff yet, because I want to spend more time on that. What do you like in this 7 years, what's been the most rewarding part so far of starting this group in this community of people who love food and who like to get out and dine at new places? Like, I've told you before, I like to go eat by myself. I'll go eat by myself anytime.
Mm-hmm.
I love company, and we'll do company, but I love it. I like to just get out, and I just ate at Rise for the first time last week, which was, and they were fabulous, by the way. because I couldn't decide between which dessert I wanted to try. And I love bread pudding and I love creme brulee. And he goes, listen, you get the creme brulee, the bread pudding's on me because I want you to try it and give me your honest opinion.
How nice.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even ask for that. So
Is that Brian the GM? Did you get his name?
no, it was actually the bartender.
Oh, how nice.
It was the bartender. And
Yeah.
and if you haven't been to Rise in Clear Fork and you're looking for a great place to brunch with your friends, with your girlfriends, or hey, your guy friends, whatever, with everybody, or you're just looking for a nice, quaint place. There's two sides to the bar, and I always like to sit at the bar because I think you can learn more from the bartender or who's sitting up there. And so there's a bar side on the inside, but then there's also a bar side on that screen. It's a glassed-in patio, but when the temps start to drop, they open it completely up, so you're actually on a patio. And so there's a smaller side of the bar sitting on that side. So I sat on that side. And I had that side to myself, and it's just, it was just pleasant. Like it was just absolutely pleasant. The bartender was super sweet and accommodating, and he knew it was my first time. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to try the seafood. I did the seafood souffle for my lunch, and then I went on to the two desserts, and I had cappuccino. The bread was amazing. And so I left there way more full than I wanted to be, and that I have been in quite a while.
Yeah.
Right. But it was absolutely fantastic. So
Yeah.
it was good.
They also have
experience.
My favorite hot pads. They're like little rectangles, and they're like 5-inch, like a 5x3 index card, whatever size, and they're my favorite hot pads ever. Anyway, I have some of those from Rise.
What about how about their cutting board?
For the bread, the guillotine thing?
Yes, it has the guillotine knife on it, and you can buy, and that's the cool thing too. So they have different sizes of those cutting boards, and you can purchase them as, gifts. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm like eyeballing everything going, okay, who am I getting that for? And, just kind of looking at the unique stuff. So it was just very, I don't want to say the atmosphere is frilly. It's just very much reminds me of like a Paris cafe.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. And so speaking of that, hello Olympics, and we'll dive into the Olympics a little bit when we get into the second half too, because Ledecky yesterday, with her 1500 meter freestyle
she broke her own record, didn't she?
She didn't break she was close, but she didn't break her own record. She broke, I think the Olympic record is what she broke, but she did not break her own record. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I don't care who wins. Of course you want your own country to win, but watching anybody who's put so much passion and energy into something they're so good at and something that they love to do, that to me is the best part. So I just am getting to enjoy all of them and watching their hard work pay off. And even the silver medalist from France, who swam with Ledecky, I was kind of looking at the two of them, and I was like, man, she was red-faced when she got done with that race. So I don't know if she was struggling a little more to really, really catch up to her, but I just like to watch all of them. Just
the level of performance.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been amazing. So let's dive into some of your favorite French restaurants across Fort Worth, and then. But when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about this in-person event that you just had on Friday. I was supposed to be there, but I ended up not being able to be there. So I hope I'm invited to the next one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure are. You're the first one to be invited and to have accepted the RSVP.
Excellent. Okay, but I did ask you, and I didn't get to let you answer, so I apologize. Your favorite thing so far about this group?
Establishing community. It's a new element in the equation of marketing. It's thrown a lot of people. So we are digital marketers. It is a digital magazine, but to be able to have the element of creating community has really been the connections. I love bringing people together, and be it members to members or the restaurants, and I love commerce too. I'm a salesperson, and I am a devout and practicing capitalist. So to be able to really have both to the degree that we do with Facebook just makes me so happy. It just
That's
makes
crazy.
Me, and then to be in sales and then to have a good business head on my shoulders. All of it works.
Just imagine if you could reach all those restaurant owners with that information, right?
Well, we're going to with the newsletter. I think that's going to be instrumental because Facebook reach sucks.
Yeah, hold that thought. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Stay with us for more foodie talk.
Attention all business owners and creative minds. Do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
NTX Radio is a member of EMG, a radio and podcast collective proudly serving all of North Texas. We are live 365 on the TuneIn Radio Network and on our station app. Download it for free. Check out our lineup and more at ntxradio.com. We thank our valued partners in helping us amplify the voices of North Texas. Be sure to connect with Todd Hurd and Associates, attorneys at law, for your civil law needs at texasattorneylaw.com. Use code JOCO2024 for 25% off your first order at thetiffy.com. Processing credit cards? Join the Swipe Nation today and save on processing fees at swipenationusa.com. Locally owned and operated. Are you ready to deliver the right message to the right people at the right time? Reach out to us at ntxradio.com at t.hurd at ntxradio.com for advertising rates as low as $50
a month.
I love that part.
I love it. All right, sorry. I put the wrong earbud in and I can't hear you. Hang on. All right, welcome back to the second half of NTX AM Vibes. Oh, is that Elise?
Yes.
A future, let's say, dance Olympian, maybe? I don't know. I'm Tiffany Carlen with Sarah Reeves, and Connie Bally is at the table with us, the Fort Worth Foodie. That's what I like to call you, because you are the Fort Worth Foodie.
Why, thank you.
Yeah. So we are talking everything food and
marketing and commerce.
Yeah, you went a little wonky on your camera. I don't know what happened over there. So I'm coming live from our new Fort Worth studio, and Sarah, of course, is in Burleson as usual, and now Elise has joined the table. Yeah, somebody touched that, huh? And Sarah can't even hear me. Hello, Sarah.
Hello, Hat.
It's a close up.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's dive in. So before the half, we were talking about, your favorite, the thing that you like best about creating this group so far in the past 7 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got something new. You had a goal to take it from online to the table and have these in-person events, and you held the first one this past Friday.
Correct.
Let's talk about it. So how did it start out? Like really tell people, first of all, the tickets if you want to participate
We're given.
These were given. Okay.
Some people want them. I kind of set up, I had a bingo game before, and some people really went after it really strong, and I kind of rewarded them by inviting, they played bingo really strong, which was a bunch of restaurants to go to. And I just appreciated their effort on that so much that I just gave them the tickets. And I had a couple of sets of couples that were there that were personal friends, but there were about 40 people at the table. So there were other people that we had a continuation of the bingo kind of a thing where we had 12 restaurants. And it's like in any configuration, go to 3, 6, 9, or 12 of these restaurants. If you go to all 12, you automatically get 2 tickets. If you go 3, 6, or 9, then you're entered into drawings. So we had all of those. And then we had, at the end, we went ahead and opened it up to the group for 5 sets of tickets that were randomly given away within the group. So it was a really interesting mix, and it ended up being 40 people altogether, or 38, something like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
so
fun. It was just fun.
Yeah, and to have people show up, I think that's key, especially when they're it's kind of like a free entry to this exclusive event, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that, but I mean, you have to put the effort in. So how did they mark? Did they take like a bingo card to these different restaurants that they went to, or like how did you know that they actually went and did it?
Just send me the receipt.
Oh,
via
okay.
DM. Yeah, I'm looking to get an app made because it was so stinking much fun, and then that way they could just validate it by touching the square with the restaurant name, and that square would come to life, and you could drill down and you could see the hours of operation. You could look at the menu. You can do all this stuff, but that's time consuming and money consuming. So that's on the to-do list, but
I might have a trick on that. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
And I love that idea. So here it is. You put this together, and where did everybody meet up?
We all met up at the Fitzgerald.
At the Fitzgerald,
and I let them, which is on Camp Bowie, and Chef Ben Merritt owns that. And April Billion Davis is the event planner, and they make a dynamic duo. April just does not drop the ball. If you're looking for somebody that will plan your event, and then the chef comes in and makes sure that the food is fabulous. So it was just a natural. We did one event last year there. So I got to see how they work and how they work together, and it was just a natural for me to want to kick this series off there as well. So we let the contestants know, the winning contestants know where we were going to meet the day before. I think I let them know that we were going to meet at the Fitz, and we did, and they had coconut margaritas, and they had a beautiful buffet of light bites set up for us of their things that they normally have on their appetizer to kind of give us an idea of what, who they are and what they have to offer. So just kind of like that light bite. At 6, we started gathering at the Fitz. At 7, this motor coach pulled up, this black motor coach pulled up. It was fabulous. It's called the Party Bus. It holds like 38 people. And we got everybody outside while it pulled up, and we let them know that we were going to La Bistro Grill, who's one of our fantastic brand partners. And as everybody got onto the motor coach, I had some really pretty stemless champagne flutes that I gave to everybody. And we had a case of beautiful Prosecco from Put a Cork in It that we poured champagne while we were in transit to La Bistro. Graze Craze came, and they set up a grazing board that looks like a Renaissance painting. I have never seen anything like it in my life. Donnie Bador and your team, genius, just genius.
Donnie and Selena.
Donnie and Selena, genius.
And they live in Godley, and their Graze Craze location is on Brian Irvin.
Yep. That's one. I believe they have two.
In Fort Worth. They do have two, but you know what? I don't know where the second one is off the top of my head.
I don't either. I'll go find out. I'm embarrassed. I don't know, but the Brian Irvin is the one, and they've just been such great supporters of Fort Worth Foodie, and it's a mutual admiration society going on.
Well, you know, he's big in he's big in the jiu-jitsu world,
and so is his wife.
Yes, and so they're I think she's a black belt now too. I mean, she just like totally dove into it, but he's been a part of it for a really long time on the ownership side, and so since they dove into the Graze craze, they've really dove into the Fort Worth business community. And
brilliant.
Yeah,
he's such a good businessman. Yeah. He's got his own podcast going.
Yep.
And he's not dabbling. I mean, he's got a good head on his shoulders. Central Market donated the fillets. We got to Le Bistro. The menu was set. The guests got off of the bus and they walked into this absolutely gorgeous display of charcuterie, grazing boards, and they got to just have that, and wine was pouring and the conversation was going. It was one really long table, so it was really neat to see everybody just kind of lined up. The steaks were served on a 900-degree hot rock. Not only were these steaks, they were like 10-ounce fillets. Even the chef at Le Bistro was incredibly impressed. But he said they had to be 10, 12-ounce fillets at Central Market. How much we love Central Market. Donated those to the evening. Everybody got their own steak, and there were appetizers that came out that was fried ravioli and calamari. They were so big, I thought they were onion rings. They were perfectly done in marinara sauce, and garlic shrimp and garlic bread. And I mean, it was just the only word that comes to mind is hedonism. I mean, there was so much food. It was all wonderful. Jars donated the tiramisu jar. TJ Wibble, their store is 3000 South Hewland, Suite number 150. It's in the Tom Thumb Shopping Center on South Hewland.
Okay.
And it's an amazing place to know of, either for catering, like if you're having a birthday party or pool party or girls gathering or baby shower, or if you're just looking for a fun treat, like to take home. Just something, the gourmet cakes in a jar, and they are beautiful. They come out with different flavors every month. They've got some favorites that they keep on the menu, but they do innovate every single month. It's just, they're wonderful and beautiful and delicious.
Okay, so I've never been there, so I'm going to have to, I'll have to go stop in.
And they've got little minis. They just came out with mini jars now too.
So you can kind of like test it.
Yes.
Find out your favorite.
Yeah, so they gave us 45 tiramisu jars, and the wine was flowing, the conversation was flowing. I mean, it was great. It was 10 o'clock before we know it. Oh, and Jason, who owns Le Bistro, he's second generation. It's family owned. It's been there for 40 years. He got a piano player to come in for the evening. They did so much to make sure that evening went on without a hitch.
So, this is like such a great way to come to the table together, to like, because you had all of these different. It's very rare for a restaurant to allow another food provider,
right,
bring food to the table.
But that's who they're all about. They're all about making community too. They wanted us to experience the ambiance. They served a beautiful sampling of their food. Found out that they get their fillets for the hot rocks at the exact same ranch that Central Market gets.
Really?
So it was the same product. It couldn't have gone smoother. And I had an anxiety. I told you I had an anxiety attack that afternoon. I was just going, I don't know if it's a premonition of just having an anxiety attack, but I knew only 10 or 15 people were going to show up. And man, was I wrong. I was so glad I was wrong.
So, I have a question about, so each person cooked their own steak on the hot rock.
Yeah, we each had our own hot rock. It was very cool. And the rock is so hot that when the steak touches it, it sears the bottom. So it stops cooking once the bottom is seared. And then you just kind of cut off a piece and you lay it on the hot rock for as long as you want to lay it. And they have this amazing mushroom gravy that you could dip it in if you want, with or without. Either way was one. I couldn't decide which was better.
Okay, so that was going to be my question. So this is the hot rock thing is the beast. That's the bistro thing. Like this is what they do all the time.
Yes, it's on the menu all the time.
Did you have guidance? Does the table have guidance from their server or from a chef that says, okay, listen, if you like your steak rare plus or medium rare, then this is what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you you're cooking it piece by piece, or bite by bite, not necessarily the whole steak at one time.
Right. That's what Jason did. He got up and he demonstrated.
Okay.
And we had a professional photographer there, and the turnaround time is about 7 days or so. So I'm sure he did a video of that part. I did a little video, but it was dark by then. And I'm sure CJ is the photographer's name, and I'll link that somehow, get his contact information. I've worked with him for years. He's wonderful. So he was there, and Jason, the owner, got up and he did the demonstration. He was brilliant with it too. It was really great. And while he was talking about it, the servers went ahead and they got everybody. I mean, it was just a well-oiled machine. They did it so beautifully. It was like they do it every week or something. It just all came together so well.
So La Bistro, it looks like they celebrated their 40th anniversary in June.
Yes.
That says a lot about a business that you, especially in the food industry, to survive 40 years,
2 generations,
is absolutely amazing. And it's still family owned.
It is still family owned.
So they actually did a thing where they gave 40% off e-gift cards and other things to celebrate all that. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And I'm kind of scrolling through their social media page, and the food looks absolutely.
You've got to go. They're one of our brand partners too, I want you to know. So our destinations are people that are our active brand partners.
Right.
Because that's how we are subsidized. That's how we keep we're a digital magazine. 360 West has brand partners. That's the digital marketing term for advertisers. There's nothing illicit about it. We need income so we can continue to do what it is we're doing. It's our paycheck.
Right.
There's a lot of people get thrown by that, but there's no reason to be.
No, I think it looks good. Sarah, so they actually, one of the things I found is that they now do Sunday lunch.
Yeah, and I'm going to be there on Sunday. So come join
You're going to go this Sunday?
I am. Are you going to go?
Sarah, maybe.
I've got to see for myself.
She's giving me a
Plus I left the cooler.
I think I'm going camping this weekend, so I don't think that I will be back in time for lunch.
Oh, okay. Where are you going camping?
Yeah.
New Braunfels down at Fim. It's a campground called Fimfo.
I think so.
Fimfo.
I don't know.
And
it sounds wonderful.
Shane Smith and the Saints are going to be playing at the amphitheater out there, and we can see it from the river.
Oh,
fabulous!
And watch it.
Is it like float down the river, or just kind of hang out in the river and see?
So there's 2 parts. So like you can go float the river in the big part of the river, and then or you like at that campground there's like a part that jets out, and so it's kind of like it's almost like a lazy river, but so it's a small portion of the water comes through there, and then we can watch the concert from the floaties in the water, or like put our
fabulous.
There.
Elise, are you going?
Yes.
I have her for the rest of the summer. How exciting is that?
That's awesome.
I know.
So every weekend, you get her every weekend
for the rest.
Well, we only have 2 weeks left. Hello,
right?
Till school
But
starts.
she was going to have to be gone for another weekend, and we. But she has school registration and fish camp and.
Oh, going to A&M?
No, just freshman for high school. She's 14.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so wait a minute. So is fish camp for like the fishing team?
No, I just mean it's like orientation.
It's like
I just said
agape.
fish camp. Whatever it is for CHS.
It's agape.
Okay.
I think so.
I don't know what it was called. I
think that's what it's called because I think my Maximus is going.
I just called it whatever came to my head first, and that's what happened.
All right, so let's give them an update on the medal count for the Olympics, because how can we not talk about the Olympics right now?
We just crossed over 3,000 medals. That's the only country that has over 3,000 medals. Did you know that?
3,000
in total.
Yeah, in total.
It's gotta
Like
be,
that's total.
cumulative.
Yeah, that's cumulative over the years.
But
Because
still,
currently,
like,
right now, we have 31. We have 31 medals. We have 6 gold, 13 silver, and 12 bronze.
And we go to the 11th of
And
August.
yes, yeah. Gosh, it's only the really that's it.
First, yeah, it's over on the 11th.
Really?
10 more
Gosh, it
days.
seems so fast. It seems like
I
it's
feel
gone.
like it took we're later in the season. It seems like, but
Right.
I don't know.
I think so too.
I think it was like someone else's pregnancy. It's kind of like, gosh, that was fast.
And they're like, really?
Oh, yeah, right.
I don't think so.
That's not how
You know,
the
you and
baby.
I just kind of chatting briefly yesterday too, and we both found out from each other that we both
Had
our kids
preemies.
are preemies.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah,
He's grown. He's great. He's a grown man now with this a family of his own, but he got down to 2 pounds, 2.5 ounces.
yeah.
Wow.
We
He's a
didn't
little
drop
one,
that
yeah.
low. Mackenzie went to 3.6,
Whew.
and then they have to climb back up so you
Yeah.
can leave
Yeah.
and take them home.
Did
And
they? How much did she weigh when you got to take her home?
I think she had to climb back up to 4.2. They wouldn't let her leave.
Daniel was at 4.
Yeah.
And then once he got on the chart, he's 6'4" now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Isn't that crazy? Now
Yeah.
mine's not. She's a tiny little bean. She's
Yeah.
only 5'2", and
But she's grown up. She's
21.
Yeah,
She's
not
she
3
made
pounds
it
anymore. Yeah.
That's all that matters,
Yeah,
right?
No kidding.
So
Elise
so
was not a preemie, and she did get the Reeves head, and so that comes from my daddy. And anyway, I got her out.
did you just say the Reeves head? Is
Yeah,
that what you just said?
yeah.
She had a big
Yeah.
baby head when you're giving birth to her, is what you're saying.
Yes, but I
So
mean,
she
we
made-
still have a large cranium.
I don't see that when I look at you, but okay. I mean, I don't whatsoever. All right, so we're kicking off the weekend. Do you have other than Sunday lunch at La Bistro? Do you have other foodie plans for the weekend? Do you have specific places that you typically like to go, or are you going to try something new?
No, I wing it. If something looks really good that I haven't been, I'll just kind of go. I'll go look by. I pay really close attention to my brand partners if I feel like somebody needs attention or if they've got something special happening. It really is. I mean, influencers got to influence. It really does make a difference if I show up, even if I do a live and just go, I'm here, I ate this, but do it respectfully, present it well. It does make a difference. It really does make a difference. It's crazy. It's like I feel like I'm a fairy godmother. You just kind of walk in and go, I'm here now. And then all of a sudden people, you kind of hear them on the streets, turning around, going to wherever it is I just happen to be. So I do try to make 1 or 2. I'm trying to get more disciplined about making 1 or 2 a week, and just to show my brand partners love. We're not charging as much. I did some research recently, and I called or emailed the other digital magazines. I did Fort Worth Report, Tanglewood Moms, 360 West, Fort Worth Magazine, Fort Worth Weekly, Star Telegram. I think 6 or 7 of them, to see what their rates were versus mine, because somebody was calling me out on it. I was just going, son of a bitch. I am so far under what they're charging. And it pissed me off. It's like,
Sarah, doesn't she fit in perfect with us? She's like,
I love it.
what I love about you is you just say it like it is. But I mean, the print advertising in this area is expensive.
It's
like
very one page. They're not calling those people. One page, $5,400.
Yep.
1 month for me, $979, and you get. I mean, we fill your plate. So don't be bitching at me. Because
It's the same thing here with the radio station. We're so incredibly affordable for our small business partners.
for what you get.
And
People will sit there and go, you know why? You know why I think a big part of it is female. I'm telling you, and I'm not a feminist. I know this comes as a surprise, and I'm not trashing feminists. I'm just choose not to. It's too divisive. It's not my thing.
Right.
I don't golf either. I'm not trashing golf. It's just not my thing.
Right.
It's like, okay, so don't.
That's a good comparison.
Don't go there. And my mother was a champion golfer, so let's just. And she wasn't a feminist either. So, but. I think a lot of it is sexism. It really is, because I'm not seeing any of these guy-owned businesses, the digital businesses, get any of this shit. None of them.
It's so interesting. You don't want to think that it actually exists still, but it does.
Oh
it
my!
absolutely
And
does.
let me tell you something. Women are the worst. It's not just guys.
Yes,
Women
I know.
are
I
the
agree.
worst.
Well, and I'm just as guilty of it, because if there and I it's so dumb, because I have my own business in the oil and gas industry, and I still have a hard time if it's a woman as the head honcho. I'm like, I wonder how that's gonna go, and it's in my head.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it
it's so
goes, it
dumb.
rattles around, so you just kind of either have to go step by step or try to ignore it or call them out in a way where they can assimilate it. It's just kind of like, that's starting to sound a little sexist to me, kind of like do it in a way
Yeah.
where they're challenged, but you're not alienating them.
Yeah.
But I'm such a hothead that, it's like, F me,
I
F
think
you.
I'm gonna like
And I'm in the position too. I mean, I'm not completely ignorant about the position that I'm in. I hit that delete button so quickly that, if I don't like you or if you've done something or if I think you're about to do something that is going to start making things rocky, that creates a situation in Facebook that is not inclusive and people start to not feel safe,
Right.
you're gone.
Yeah.
And I just wish there were a delete button for
Well,
real life.
I really like that's like when you first join the group and you read through the rules, it literally says, "Hey, this is my group, and if you don't like it,
There are, then
there's
you're
plenty of other groups to go to."
We are not a hate group. I take
Right.
absolutely no entertainment value in someone's public humiliation. You're not typing this stuff out with disappearing ink. If you put out there that you thought that that beef short rib was as tough as shoe leather, it doesn't disappear in 6 months.
Right.
It's out there forever.
Right.
And it does make a difference with. It hurts the people the most that can afford it the least.
Absolutely.
And those are the hourly wage workers and the wait staff. And I'm not going to have it. You can take your discuss your grief to management at the time.
Right.
We can't help you.
Right.
And if you're not willing to do your adulting, you're not going to get away with humiliating somebody.
Right.
We've won awards from Meta. I told you about the
Yes,
the
you told
grant.
me.
Last
Mhm.
year we got a huge grant, a $40,000 grant from Meta because of the platform that we built and the work that we're doing. Yeah, it's really awesome. So I'm carrying the torch. Speaking of Olympics, I'm carrying it. I'm very proud of the work we've done.
I'm very proud of you too, and I think
Thank you.
I think one of the things is when you get into a group like this and you're focused on one industry,
Mm-hmm.
that can become very challenging to not look like you're giving favoritism or things like that. And food, small business owners get their feelings hurt all the time, right?
Big
Like you
business
just get
owners
butthurt
do, yeah.
over stupid things. And
They
how
can-
come you're talking about that restaurant?
Well, they can
and blah,
come
blah,
on.
blah.
They can come on, and if you're in good standing with Fort Worth Foodies, once every 7 days for free, you can pimp yourself out. There's no other publication in the city
That allows that.
That
Yep.
allows that. Also in the feed, when people are saying, "Where do I go to get the best crepes?" Business owners can go into the feed and say, "Blah blah 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 blah." I try to go in with my brand partners if I feel like it's relevant to them and answer it, and I'll tag them so they'll know that I'm thinking about them or looking out for them. I try, but the group's gotten so big that I miss a lot of it. So I don't hold myself responsible for that so much anymore. But I don't know about favoritism. I mean, the brand partners get 2 boosts a week. I've got a whiteboard with what days of the week who gets what boost. And I'm not spending my whole day doing boosts for my brand partners.
Right.
I mean, I love them. But I want to be done with it by noon.
Right.
It takes me hours every morning to do it. And then by noon, then I get on with my day.
Well, we were talking about French food before we came on air too. We were talking about Saint-Emilion
Mhm.
in Fort Worth and Paris 7. And you have not yet been to Paris 7. Is
I
that
have
right?
not. I want to go. And I haven't been to Le Margot
I think we
either.
need to probably hit both maybe.
Tell me when
Yeah.
I'm there.
I think we'll have to do Paris 7 one week and then Le Margot, which is
Ish.
new-ish. And then there's a new market type of place
Oh, they
in
just opened
Clear Fork.
Yes.
And that one's called Le Marchand.
Bleu.
Le Bleu. Okay.
Marshall Blue.
Marchand Bleu. And that looks really cool too. So
And we walked in at Celia and I were going to a dinner at Fix. We were invited to a whiskey dinner at Fix, which was amazing. You guys pay attention to these whiskey and wine dinners too. They're worth knowing about. And I'm not much of a drinker, but it gets me introduced to that. I still drink anyhow at the dinners just for the fun of it.
So at Fix, did you have the honey? The
honey badger?
The honey badger.
No. This was it was a set label.
Okay.
But we walked out the day before their grand opening. It was great, and we were invited in just to kind of smell.
I want to thank you for joining me again at the table.
Thank you
Our
so
time
much.
is up. Look how fast it goes. We had a great
goes.
time.
Thank
Have an
you, Sarah.
amazing day. Everybody go out, be kind, and God bless.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godly, this is the voice of Chuck.
person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS